everyone, welcome into our Preps on 11 Web Extra, getting you ready for week 6 of high school football. It feels weird to say that, but hey, here we are. The weather's finally starting to turn fall-like. It only took halfway through the season. Tyler Cash joined as always, my Scorebook Live's Nate Olson, and excited to get a little crisp, a little fall out there.
Yeah, it's going to be cool Friday night, I think. You might want to wear a jacket, so that's good. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. It's been too hot. Football weather is not 100 degrees heat and humidity. We've had that for a long time, so it's good. I know these guys are going to be glad to play cool. Football players would rather play in very much colder temperatures than hot, so this is probably about perfect. Not too cold, not too hot. It would be nice, and if you're in the stands, just bring an extra blanket or a long sleeve shirt and enjoy it.
And conference play really starting to heat up as things cool down. We'll start in the 5A, a game that might have had a little bit more luster if Mills could complete the comeback last week, but still a couple teams with hopes on a deep playoff run in Mills and Pine Bluff.
Yeah, I think this is still going to be a good game, and there's still, stuff at stake here. Mills can't lose again and try to keep some hope alive for that top spot, but surely the second spot is in play, and Pine Bluff, still trying to contend. But I think the interesting thing for a lot of people is that Charlie Collins is from Pine Bluff, basically born and raised there up until the last couple years, and then his cousin Courtney Crutchfield is on the other sideline at Pine Bluff High. Those guys could have been teammates, which was really scary, but Charlie, if you read the story in SB Live, decided after his sophomore year he was highly recruited already then, and there was a lot of turmoil in the Pine Bluff program, so elected to go to Mills and play for Cortez Lee, who is a Pine Bluff native too, played at Dollarway and coached there, and so he's there, and there's several guys from Pine Bluff actually at Mills, so this is an emotional game for them. When I talked to Charlie back in July, he said that's not a game that I want to lose, and it's bragging rights amongst the family, and then just all the family and friends that are going to be there. So I look for a really electric atmosphere there. I think both those guys will play well. They're both terrific, and that's something that when people are talking about the Razorbacks and stuff, you've got reinforcements coming. Those guys could play next year, I think, and so this could be a preview of that. But also Achilles Ringo, the quarterback for Mills, very good, underrated guy. He's thrown for, I think, 2,000 yards already, and so he's somebody to watch too. And then Austin Dendy for Pine Bluff, I think just committed to Mizzou. So lots of talent. I think this is a game that, even though it's lost a little luster, a lot of athleticism, and could be a high-scoring, really good game.
Yeah, Mills has a tendency the last couple of years, this last couple of weeks even, to play these crazy, tight, down to the last possession games. So that should be a fun one. All right, up to the 7A Central now. Two teams that I think have been probably the top 2 or 3 in the state other than Bryant the last couple of years in Conway and Cabot. Can this Cabot defense finally be the ones to slow down Donovan Molo?
They are a good defense, and their defense is ahead of their offense. Their offense had to fill some holes in the backfield. I think it's still a work in progress with Coach Reed, but defensively, that last year, they came in there really hot and they slowed them down. So I think it's possible, but Molo, that was one thing that I said about with Buck James. Can he win a championship? Yes, because he has a quarterback who is a 3-year starter, and look what he's done. The first 3 games, 5 touchdowns apiece. I think he had 3 the week after that. Him and Chris O'Neill are super hot. He's the receiver. So you've got to slow them down. And the way Bryant, really frustrated them last year, and Cabot did it too, is to put pressure on Molo, make him run out of the pocket. Now, he is elusive, so you can't lose him, but making him throw on the run, he's not as accurate as, most quarterbacks aren't. So getting pressure on him, then not losing containment is a big thing there. But I looked at that game and I thought, this is going to be a real measuring stick for Buck, because I thought it was really, the Bentonville game would be a test, but then, they won that game. So now, which one of these teams is for real? Like, which one of these teams could beat Bryant? And Bryant's had their own kind of struggles in the first half against 2 teams that aren't as good. So whoever wins this game, I think, is in good shape to possibly win a conference championship. I think Bryant can be beaten. I'm not predicting that, but I think they can be. And this is a big game, because if Conway, blows them out like they have done, and people are really going to stand up and take notice. There's already, rankings that have them number one, and so and as far as Cabot goes, this Coach Reed wants this to be their coming out party. Let's get everything together and win this game so that we are the ones that can challenge Bryant.
All right, and then back down to the 5A for our game of the week. We started talking about it a little earlier because of the upset last week. Maumelle coming off probably, I think easily the biggest win of the Brian Maupin era. Now they go to his old stomping grounds, Joe T. Robinson.
Yeah.
Can they make it 2 weeks in a row with upsets?
I think they can. Coach Maupin has done a really good job of, that guy's fiery. I mean, he was kind of the de facto PR guy when he was at Robinson, so all of us media people know him well because he did a terrific job of promoting that program. Todd Escola, great guy, but not really a camera guy. He likes to shift that to Maupin, and Brian's done a great job of kind of bringing that enthusiasm and getting these guys to work. I think you saw a little bit last year, and then between year 1 and 2, even more of his philosophy in play. The Mills game was a real shocker for me. I didn't think they could beat them, and they did. And now if you're Robinson, you really have to be paying attention because he has them believing. They know that's a big game for him. That's his alma mater. That's where he coached. He wants to win that game. So
you saw it last year too. I mean, even as Maumelle was clearly kind of rebuilding things and figuring stuff out last year, they played Robinson real tight.
Yeah, well, and he's a master motivator. I mean, those kids will run through a wall for him. I mean, they think of him as them. He's a younger guy, and I think he really speaks their language. That's how he was at Robinson. So this could be a good one. Quentin Murphy, Robinson, a Division I recruit. He's very athletic, so Maumelle's going to have to keep an eye on him, and they've got a couple of good defensive players too. So this is going to be similar, I think, to Pine Bluff Mills. You've got a lot of athletes on the field here, and it's going to kind of come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes and can execute and kind of keep their emotions in check. It's an emotional game for Robinson too. I think they understand that they've kind of got a bullseye on their chest with Maumelle, so they don't want to lose this game for their coach. So I think it'll be a good game, and whoever wins it is going to be in contention. Everybody's trying to win that 5A Central, and it's very competitive.
All right, we'll have highlights from those games plus a slew of others coming your way on the Friday Night Blitz.